Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm planning on it, so.
Good, good.
I'm not sure Kurt will be there.
I don't know how he.
I think, I don't know.
So good, county fair, we all.
Oh, yeah,
We took quite a while, yeah.
we were there most of Wednesday. Yeah, granddaughter was showing stuff, so I was.
Oh, you got it.
Yeah, Wednesday was a nightmare. I was up at the fair.
Yeah.
See what that is. Went to the fair. Oh. 8 o'clock we had to be at the fair. Then I had to run to Waterloo for a CSS meeting, or HR meeting. Back to the fair. Watch another thing at the fair. Then I was down here for my Wednesday thing here at the office. Back to the fair. And we went back home for a little bit, and we were back up at the fair at 7:30 for another show.
You know,
It was,
there's a reason you have kids when you're young, it's bad, you
Yeah.
gotta keep up with that.
yeah, that was just, I put some miles on that day.
I bet you did.
It was still worth it seeing her at the fair.
Oh, I'll bet. So anyway, as far as economic development, that's a story.
Yeah.
There's,
Yeah.
there's, you know, you got 230 appointment names, it might be 4 o'clock, it might be 2:35. But by the time you get that well, get home,
Your daughter participated.
No, I wouldn't worry about it.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Well, yeah, she asked.
And they live, some in Mount Pleasant. Anisha's house. All about it.
Such a service.
But not that it's a wedding.
Yeah, I don't see why that would be a problem.
Stuff planted for fall.
Yeah,
But she said she thought it was huge.
yeah, I would think that would be.
Her guys.
So then it sounds very help support that.
Yeah.
But she wants,
So that
she
we have
wants to,
camera on,
talk about.
you know,
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, it's gonna be a,
and
basically it'll be a 2-hour meeting.
She said, watch you.
Yeah.
But they're good.
Yeah, yeah, I see they're feeding us.
Well, that'll be good.
So we'll see.
Hey, Mike, where's my book?
Good morning, Burley.
Good morning.
How are you?
Morning.
Everywhere.
What do you paint?
Oh. Stencil and everything's sticking. And it's not really
Just
Just fine. Oh. Those kind of fling around and.
And some of them are pretty pricey. You get
And you know, when you have stuff for my daughter's wedding.
Oh, yeah. What's your daughter in Missouri?
she lives in Columbia, Missouri.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, if you wanna do that, you get in trouble.
St. John Methodist.
I give her
20 miles
whether
away.
you up the line I had.
Oh.
They're freestanding.
Yeah.
You don't know what heck of a baseball, they can fall over.
We're not going anywhere.
So where's my book?
Small.
You want another one? There's 2 more.
Yeah, well, I could
There's
have
volume
one
1
on
and
each
2
one.
and then volume 3.
You are kidding, they're all the same book, aren't they?
I heard the name.
Okay, so I'm gullible.
First night,
Oh.
I don't.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
He came up to me the other day.
Yeah.
You left me explain to them what Tammy told you.
And introduced himself. Called us.
I never thought, yes, I did do that.
What was the reunion?
Somebody that's a little more.
Yeah. Yeah, what she showed. How much she showed, she. Yeah, that's where you're at. And then chicken.
On my mower, because I hit the stumps that came out of the ground. Because the ground was so level. So I bent the deck into.
And then she was in pasture.
Oh, it was. Yeah. So it gets expensive, so I know for all the stuff, so, 10 years ago, and all 6 acres, I know, 4 years, his young stock.
Yeah.
That was my main
Good morning. Oh my God. Sorry about him not singing the Lord's Prayer, but I think he did okay.
He did okay.
Yeah.
I particularly love patriotic songs. I just he's sad. Your son is sad. He misses his mom still. I think your daughter is too, but I didn't get to. They're both. It's hard. It's really hard to lose your mom.
This here.
But it's really hard to play joyful, uplifting songs when you're sad in your heart, when your heart is sad. Was your wife Catholic? Their mom? Yeah. Isn't he teaching at a Catholic school?
Well, he's going to be teaching at Regina.
Yeah, okay. Going to be or is?
Well, he's under contract for next year. About a month from now. Yeah, he'll be there.
That just made me wonder if he was, had a Catholic affiliation. There's a lot of people that teach at Regina, or go to Regina, yeah.
No, he had a chance to get a job there.
Heck, yes. Not there to come by.
You bet.
Right now, things are getting really bad.
He was off work for a year. He was looking for something online.
Tell me those, tell me
So,
yeah, that's
that's part of the reason he gave the concert
The
yesterday.
guy from the union himself,
Make a little bit of money.
there's nothing wrong with
So,
him.
but from what I understand, most people enjoyed it.
I think so. The people I was sitting amongst, they were all saying what skills, what talents. It was kind of cool the way they did it.
It's neat.
Tammy played a freaking game. Wow, let's find something. She brought up wages that day, and Morris set her straight.
I seen a guy.
I sat back and waited and waited. Sure as shit, last Monday you come up with, oh, Ben, you took Ben in there. I go talk to Ben, Ben was fine with it now that he understood. Strike 2 with Ben, strike 1 with the wages, strike 2 with Ben. Now you come up with this fucking order. That's exactly what you guys do all the time. Carlton is, Carlton that. Jordan called me a puppet last week, I found me a puppet. My district.
I think we've supplemented.
It's just cheap to have to sit up there.
5 weeks.
So all I do is get it.
I know. Dan told Doug DeMore, that he was your man. Doug DeMore called me. Long time ago, he said, oh, Bob's my man.
So if you're on the boat,
Is Ken home?
Oh, it's the same thing.
And the daughter-in-law was there helping with that.
with
Same thing. That's,
It takes me maybe 30.
I hate to sign waivers for a lot of weeks, and that's right.
I think.
he told me, you said, he's your guy. Okay. It'll be over in 5 times, I don't have to sit up there and do 2.
Hey Kurt, 2.5 inches in case we don't get to talk about weather.
Yeah.
Rain, you got it?
Inch and 3/10.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't even get
Inch
your
and
order.
3/10. So,
No, I live, as you're going on the road to Mountain, 6/10 of a mile outside the city limits. Anyways.
That's about 10 miles south of us, cause we live up
Okay,
here.
they said, well, something here.
No.
You know, something like that from here.
So.
See you.
No.
Morning,
Morning, good morning.
Ask Laura.
Morning, guys.
Did you get my book?
Gary, throw it back to me, you don't.
Oh, he did?
Okay, are you still surviving on vacation?
Or I can live at home. It's been
Okay, thanks. Yep, that's my stuff right there. Thank you.
Morning, Mike.
Morning, Mike.
Mike, does that shirt like indicate that only old people read newspapers or, you know?
It's an
Are you
alien.
insinuating something? It's an alien.
It's an alien.
Oh, no, no.
Okay, good.
No insult. When you say old people look like aliens.
Don't touch that.
Yearly
Oh, thank you. I'll have to wear it more often.
Think you're gonna quit it. Wear your pajamas.
I'll wear it once a week, before then. Where's the tape right here? There's purple right there.
Hey Laura, what are special assessments under the treasurer's report?
Okay, so that's like, the cities, and cities usually have special assessments like for curb and gutter. So then those people that live on that street or that block get what's called a special assessment to pay for putting in curb and gutter, so that's what those are.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's why you buy a house, you buy a house, whether there's a-
It's absolutely great out there.
Brucellosis eradication?
that is a mandatory thing that we have to pay.
That's-
State state.
Yeah, it sounds like something that should have been
It's
eradicated
like
years ago.
It's like tuberculosis.
Yeah, that's the same line as TB.
And, yeah, but it affects the animals.
Oh, animals, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, they didn't get rid of
It's,
TB
it's,
years
it's,
ago.
that's a worldwide thing.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
one was
so I haven't looked at
investigating
it
some
yet, I
stuff
just got it from.
For
earlier this year.
anti-vaxxer.
No, earlier this year, that came up. It's brucellosis.
Yeah, I'm kinda stoked.
They did some research on.
Yeah.
I'm excited for you guys. Yeah, I think so too. It's hard, it's just hard.
Saw a bunch of sheriffs screaming north.
Yeah, she
63 on
came
our
over
way
there
here.
3 days. I told you
She
she
knew
knows
the
the
day
laws.
of and she goes positive.
Okay, yeah. 'cause
I hope everybody's okay.
I see them, yeah, 'cause they give a word.
I haven't seen the ambulance. So
Yeah, so after she
I know.
starts, it is, yes, it is hard. It's very hard.
All right, let's, start the meeting pledge. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Alrighty. Get a motion to approve last week's agenda, or this week's agenda.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Okay, we got a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Public comments, agenda items only, 15 minutes.
Probably know me already. Got a question, who writes the agenda and puts it on the website? You do?
Mm-hmm.
May I ask why, when you wrote on there to hire somebody for the zoning position, why there's not a name or any detail to that?
Because they're gonna discuss it at the meeting today, and I'm not sure who they're going to appoint.
Okay. It's,
And I don't wanna put out everybody's name, but they can just discuss it.
we
You're
as
at
the
the
public only have one chance to comment on anything that's on this agenda. And when the agenda is not specific enough, we don't have a chance to, the public doesn't have a chance to talk about it or make comments to this board after this public meeting. So I guess I personally have a problem when the agenda is not specific enough.
Well, in that case, I know these three need to talk about it, and especially
Okay.
this group doesn't like them talking about things unless they're at an open meeting.
Okay.
So that's why we've started doing that. Plus, we interviewed a total of 5 people, and we don't wanna put all those names on there in case, and have their employer see that until they're sure they wanna do that.
I
So
was
there's
just
2
wondering.
reasons why we don't do that.
If, you know, so the decision has not been made.
I don't think so, I can't speak for those 3. Interviews were done, recommendations were made, but it's up to them to decide, and when they supposedly do, say they talk about it when they're not in an open meeting, then there are comments made that they make that decision
Okay.
without discussing it.
Okay. So basically, any discussion concerning the appointment would be made this morning. Is that correct? Okay. I believe that's all I have on my list. Thank you very much.
I guess to follow up with Richard's, I was kind of along the same vein. I was assuming from the way it was written on the agenda that you were just appointing today, which meant you already discussed, so I was kind of concerned that you had already discussed it. So I mentioned before, per the code, deliberation and discussion is an action that can be on the agenda. So I guess I would recommend when you request having something that you will be discussing before you do a decision, to have that included as discussion and then appointment. Because I was under the assumption you guys had already discussed this and you made your decision and you're appointing, and you just didn't wanna tell us who you're appointing. So it was just a little bit of miscommunication, I think, on how you guys presented that to Laura to add to the agenda. So I'm guessing they had just passed on to you that they wanted to have that and not the extra information, so. Yeah, I agree, you're not supposed to talk outside of the meeting, but the way it was presented on the agenda, you had already made that discussion and decision. So I'm glad it hasn't been decided yet. I know that some people I'd heard had contacted you guys individually regarding specific candidates, so I hope you take that into consideration. That not everything is related to certain topics, concerns and such. And I do hope you guys take into account each other's opinions, since you didn't all interview everybody. I don't know that you've seen all the notes from each application, and I know I was an applicant, so I hope you did get a chance to all review mine, as well as every other applicant that had applied. I heard you had 5, but possibly 7 applicants. Was it 5 or 7?
I think they had,
7.
yeah, but they only interviewed 5, and they don't have to interview every applicant.
Okay, I hadn't heard, and I didn't know who the other applicants were besides one. So. All right, thank you very much.
Hello, I'm Karen. I was gone last week. I did so want to talk to some people at the Tama County Fair, and I decided no, let's just keep this for the kids. In regards to zoning, so this has been going on since the 75 acres were originally put up for grabs, clear back in about 2018, maybe a little bit before. Right now, it's like way, thousands of acres, close to 100,000 of acres just in Tama County being considered for solar and wind. So this zoning position is a very big deal. My sister just got back from Idaho. Her son-in-law works for over 10 years now, the turbine place up there. And the transmitters are made in China. They last 1 year, and they're over $500,000 to restore, repair, replace. That's big bucks. And I think that any of you in this room that have signed up for turbines probably know that if they're not working, you're not being paid. Anyway, that's the word. Most of us don't get to know what's on those contracts unless we sign them. The Bible says a lot about building and storing treasures on earth. And again, I was asked to repeat this in 3 different places that I know of, Acts, and Timothy. It says stay away from China, Asia. What good had ever came out of the Vietnam War, Asia War? I know most of you were too young to remember that, but there's a few of us older people in here that were involved in the Vietnam Asia War. No good came from that war or any other war. Some just to save our butts, but that one sure didn't. People have quit reading history. They quit reading God's word, the Bible. They don't know that it says to stay out of. You have nothing to do with China. They don't know that. Asia. So we need to be really careful. This whole deal has separated families. That's how dangerous this zoning thing is. That's how important somebody's rolling her eyes. Somebody needs to read the Bible. That's how important this is. It's dividing families, close families, brothers, sisters, siblings. A lot's going to happen in the next 6 months, people. A lot's going to happen in the next 6 months. And we're not going to have much control over it. I guarantee you that. But I also will tell you that God will not be mocked. The decision made in here today is so important for the people in this room and the people in this county that voted in June to change things because they don't want to give their county away to China. All I'm going to say right now is God bless everybody in this room. Because when this is all said and done, we're all still going to know each other, see each other, and be together day after day until we're not. I didn't use my whole 5 minutes. I wanted to say that a lot of folks signed up for these contracts and want out. They can't get out. It's a contract. That's a big deal. A contract with China, people. A contract with China.
All right, I need a motion to approve the previous minutes.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Motion is second, all in favor?
Aye.
Ben?
Morning. How you doing, Ben?
Morning, Ben.
So our bridge and culvert, they should have P Avenue, just south of Highway 63. That should be opened up this week, weather depending. I think just with rain, kind of this past rain and rain kind of this week, that possibility, but they should be able to hopefully rock it and get it opened up this week, so. And then on E Avenue that they're working on, they're just working on pouring the box there. And also this week, kind of the dirt crew that was kind of finishing up on P Avenue is gonna move to F Avenue and start working on that and getting that, the box culvert, timber box culvert tore out. So they'll be closing that, so. Then, just, I guess a reminder, you got a few pieces of equipment, on Gov Deals, the bidding for those closed tonight. We've been doing some ditch work on 350th west of Highway 63 this past week. With the kind of rain we got, we'll have to kind of fix it up a little bit, and then we're replacing some crossroad culverts in that stretch as well. So, and then, thought I'd give you a heads up, I will be gone next week for vacation. So, I'll probably have Tim or, I don't know, probably Tim come and kind of give me an update of what's going on, so.
Sounds good, then. Okay. Sounds good.
So, and then, have a utility permit, consumer energy, or, electrical out of, they're gonna be replacing all the poles between C and D Avenue on 250th Street, so. This is, needs signature. Thanks.
Ben,
Thank you, Ben.
have a good time on your vacation.
Yeah.
Can I get a motion to approve the claims?
I'd like to motion to approve the claims this week. They're $645,257.47. I made the motion, Bill.
Oh, I'm second. Sorry.
Got a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Appoint Zoning and Weed Commissioner. So what's up with that?
So some of you did interviews, and then you and I and Tammy did 3 more interviews. We made our recommendations. The one that we picked was, we recommended was Ben Holder.
Rod.
Or Rod Holder, sorry, Ben was just here. Bob Baloo was another one, that was Harry. Rod currently works for the road department, we do it though, as an additional side. If this could do a good job. It's up to you guys to decide. You don't have to decide today if you don't want to, but you need to think it over or wanna look at the applications again.
I think Bob would do a fine job. I think he'd have a little more time, be a little more flexible, the other gentleman. I understand they're both very qualified and both can do the job, so My pick would be Bob, just because of the time factor. I think he would be a little more flexible, so.
It has nothing to do with the wages?
It does have something to do with the wages too. It's I don't know, Tammy, do you have those numbers again?
Yeah, so the issue is that, part-time job position would count first, therefore everything after that would be overtime on the engineer's side.
I thought we had that fixed, that they
You can't fix it.
Yeah.
You can't fix it.
So how do
Department of Labor,
you two do it?
it's, we don't have separate jobs, we included in our, how do I wanna say this? We're salaried, we're not union.
The big thing is the union.
Union's
The union had no problem with them. I talked to Greg.
No, the union has no problem with it, it's not the union, it's wage and hour. The problem is that the part-time job position always counts first, which therefore puts Ben's budget, it'd be the one that'd be paying overtime. Then you run into that you have other employees working that are also union, and you have one employee that's just taking off and going for another job and getting $23,000 or more in overtime every year on top of the 21, on top of the 58,000. So you're looking at putting that position at over $100,000. And the biggest concern, I believe, is wage and hour and the union, all the other employees. Because then you're gonna have other employees that wanna do other part-time jobs in the county, which, no big deal. But it actually is how it works out with wage and hour. It's not anything that we do, it's just wage and hour laws.
What's your opinion?
My opinion, I think Rod and Bob both would do a very good job. I really do. But when it comes down to state law that dictates overtime and things like that, I have to go with Bob. I mean, it's just.
Guess it's Bob it is. Do we need a motion? Can I get a motion to approve Bob?
I'll make a motion to approve Bob as zoning and weed commissioner.
I will second that.
Motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
What's Bob's last name?
Bokum.
Bob Bokum, sorry.
It's Bobby. Certain. Need a motion to approve the semi-annual report for the treasurer.
I will make that motion.
I'll second that.
All right, motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, we'll be adjourned.
Okay, I will adjourn you at 8:55.
5 after, people. You guys?
Aye. Dan.
I'm in no hurry. Okay, so I'm just going out to get warm.
Yes.
Oh, it's all
I
right.
have knee surgery. I'll be gone the whole month of August. I'll be back sometime in September, so. Karen will be in charge, so just reach out to her. Also, I wanted to let you guys know that, I did hire somebody in my office.
Oh, yeah.
To replace Karen, so since we have a big election, we had talked about the time that I could hire somebody to go over and it's Jennifer's daughter.
I heard you was interviewing.
Yeah. They made a decision. She's gonna start August 12th.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, yeah, for letting me do that.
Yeah, well, that's something we've got to.
Yeah, it's gonna be a big election, and it'd be good if she could start it, we're gonna start elections there. I'm supposed to be off for 6 weeks, but I don't know. Maybe I'll come in for half days. Yeah, yeah. You literally had me. But I'll be fine.
Well, there's been a lot of people get through it.
Yes. This is
Today I was amazing. I was in there last time.
Thank you. That was for your daughter. Did I give you guys copies of these? I don't remember who asked me. Okay. I'm gonna go to my office. Ballot,
Board of Adjustments. Yeah, scheduling. Okay.
Let's go and get it right. Yeah.
Oh, right. That's right, I get some new candy.
Sometimes, but that's Lisa might not be all
So we've got water in the glass.
Labor Day, and I might be.
Labor Day, you can't be there.
Oh, I can't do Labor Day. We have a wedding. I didn't see you get fast. That's okay. I'll clear it.
Okay, okay.
Sure, there'll be questions for you guys.
Yep.
We're hoping they just.
Yeah, hey, look forward to working with you.
You betcha.
So I saw, okay, I've got to run on another situation. Be back in I'll be, down there tomorrow. Harrison said he's got a bunch of stuff. Okay, see you later. Sorry, I got to run. Take care, thanks. First walk in here at the desk.
Easy job, I just said.
I know they hired a new person.
Lifted things or moving things or. Like, where you move better.
I guess that's the end of all the same thing. So they're easy.
Got surgery on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Wednesday, Friday, here I go. Yep, 3 days a week.
Yeah, well, they didn't redo it, but they had to make it go.
Oh.